Welcome back to We Lead Anyway. I'm Noelle, Senior Leader, Career Coach, and host of the weekly podcast, We Lead Anyway. You should also just check out my YouTube channel. That's also We Lead Anyway. All right, so last week I promised you we were going to talk about boundaries. And we're going to talk about them from the side we almost never examine. Not the person setting the boundary. That's played out. We talk about that all day long. I want to talk about the person receiving it. Because when someone says, no, I can't take this on, this isn't sustainable for me, we rarely pause. We usually react. And the reaction usually sounds like a story we tell ourselves. Oh, this person is disengaged. They're not willing. They can't handle the workload. Or my favorite, oh, they're not leadership material. These stories might feel true in the moment, but they are often wrong. We live in a work culture that trained us to confuse availability with commitment. And if someone answers late or stays flexy or absorbs extra work, never pushes back, we call them engaged. When that same person finally draws a line for their own mental and emotional well-being, we interpret that as withdrawal. But engagement is not measured by how much someone bleeds into their life. Sustainable engagement, well, that's much quieter. That looks like focus. It looks like discernment. It looks like someone protecting the conditions that allow them to do good work consistently. When we mistake boundaries for disengagement, what we're really reacting to is a loss of access. And that brings me to the part that not many people will admit. Sometimes, just sometimes, a boundary feels personal because it exposes our dependency. If someone setting a boundary creates stress for you, ask yourself why. What system relied on their overextension? What deadline assumed their elasticity? What gap were they silently filling that no one formally owned? This is where the misinterpretation deepens. Instead of seeing a structural issue, we label the person. They're not a team player. They can't handle the pressure. They're not as committed as they used to be. And that story is easier than asking hard questions about workload design, maybe role clarity and leadership decisions. There is another layer here, especially when the person setting the boundary is highly competent. We tend to punish capable people for saying no. We get so used to their output. We build plans around their capacity without ever confirming consent. So they draw a fine line, and it feels like betrayal. Not because they did something wrong. They didn't. They're benefiting from something unsustainable. This is where the internal narrative matters. When someone sets a boundary, notice the story you immediately tell yourself. Are you assuming unwillingness instead of discernment, or fragility instead of self-respect? You might think they're disengaged when it's just not sustainable what you're asking of them. And that story shapes how you respond. And your response teaches people whether boundaries are safe in your environment or punished. Respecting boundaries in a healthier way starts with restraint. You don't need to agree with the boundary to respect it. You don't need to understand it. Just honor it and accept it. A healthy response sounds like this. Thanks for letting me know. Let's look at how to adjust. Not, well, why can't you just do this one thing? Because every time we override a boundary, we subtly teach people that honesty costs them. And eventually, they stop being honest. They stop speaking up, or they just leave. So the next time someone sets a boundary and it disrupts your plans, pause. Sit with the inconvenience. Ask what it's really revealing about the work, about the system, the workflow, and really about your expectations. Boundaries aren't a sign that someone is checking out. They are often a sign that someone is trying to stay in. Don't mess that up. If you have a question or a topic you want me to talk about, email me at noelleadsanyway@gmail.com. If you want to talk anything coaching, visit leadwithnoelle.com. Until next time, go take up space.